welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Cricut 15-inch loom by Schacht. There's also a 10-inch tabletop loom as well, and this is actually really fun and simple, and you'll be very surprised at how quick it takes in order to make up a scarf. So let's go over some of the basics first. When you're looking at the project that you see here, these actual strings are from the strings that have gone the whole direction, and so basically at the end I've just tied them off to create a nice tasseling effect. But you cannot use every string for different ideas going across the lengthwise. So I've actually ruined a few good yarn balls, really high-end yarn balls, don't remind me on that. And because I realized that not all yarns can go in the whole direction. And the reason for it is that this stiff bar that you see here, the yarn has to travel between a really small space. So if you're using really high-end yarn where the fibers like to rip off or to peel, what's going to happen is that as you're beating it, because you're going to be beating that whole section there for quite some time before you're able to move on, and sometimes some of the yarn just cannot survive the beating of being just dragged across the string, and what happens is that a little bit peels off and a little bit peels off, and then it gets to the point where you'll end up with knots, and then you'll eventually break your string. Another idea here that we had is this is the Bernat Mosaic, and the Unforgettable by Red Heart would be the same way, is that you cannot use this yarn going in this direction. You can use it going, weaving back and forth, and look at it. It's too easy. So what happens is that this string does two things. It does actually peel, so if you actually go to rub it enough times, you'll see that it's starting to peel. And what happens when you go to beat that, it's going to peel, and then eventually it's going to peel to the point you've lost all your strength. Lion Brand, oh my god, I wasted a whole ball of this stuff. This is about $11 a ball. And again, see the fibers are kind of loose, and you can kind of see when you're rubbing it like this, because you know your hands are a good test. Because when it's going through the beater bar, you can see that all of this is collecting, but the problem is that the strings are so close together that they're all going to start to bunch up into a big knot, and then eventually it'll just peel. So you want to use like a scrap yarn or a really good high-end or really good strong yarn, and this is just a wool, okay, just a regular wool, Peyton's Decor. Look at that, I didn't even break that. So that's my point, is that you need to use stronger string going in this direction, and because it's so strong, it's not going to be tending to peel as well, which is going to cause any problems after you get started. So this is it. This will finish off your lesson for today. You can move on to the next lesson. The choices will be on the screen, and you know what, you can just propel yourself. It doesn't take much time to do one of these projects, so you might be able to do this whole video series today as you're following along on my tutorial. Until next time, I'm Mikey from the Crochet Crowd.